myself and Ben, who are going to be the two official witnesses at the bottom here of the ketubah, that you would like to give us the power of attorney to go back to Andrew now on the men's side and say, I agree to everything that's written here in the ketubah, and I would like for the two of you to please sign your names as witnesses and as testimony that I agree to this.
So what do I say I do?
You say that comes in about 10 minutes. Just say Rabbi Sauer, Ben.
Rabbi Sarah, Ben.
I'd like for you. You're the lawyer. You should know.
I give you the power of attorney to go back and sign this ketubah
on my behalf.
On my behalf.
As witnesses.
As witnesses.
That I accept the terms of Jewish law in this ketubah.
Jewish law in this ketubah.
Okay. Give this to me. I'll now give it over to Ben. Lift it up onto Jessie, and we've gone over the language of the ketubah, right? You basically understand that although this is written in Aramaic, there's nothing different. You have my word, there's nothing different. If you want to have your buddy here who understands Hebrew and Aramaic and everything else go over it, you're more than welcome to. But according to Jewish and civil law, this becomes your official marriage document that tells the world that you are financially going to take responsibility in this marriage, that you're mentally going to take responsibility, and all the obligations that you have to Jessie, at least minimally, are outlined here in the ketubah. So we've gone over the language a little bit, and I think you have a clear understanding as to what's going on. If you agree, Jessie has agreed just now to accept the terms of this ketubah. Yeah. I know that comes as a shock to you. Yes. And then I want you to take this pen, yeah, this, stand up, and say to Ben and I, Rabbi Sauer, Ben, I understand the ketubah in front of me. I'm glad that Jessie has accepted the terms of it, and I'd like for you to, giving over this pen, I'm giving you the power of attorney to sign as my witness, as my witnesses, that I agree to the terms of this ketubah.
Ben, Rabbi Sauer, I agree to what it says on there, and give my power of attorney to you guys to witness that. Okay?
There we go, okay. All right. I'm going to ask you to shots one more time. Andrew, can you do more shot? Come on. Start it up, Jeremy.
Shots for the good Rebbe.
There we go.
And the two Kiddush cups should be up.
At this time, I'd like to ask Andrew's father and soon to be his father-in-law to come forward. Andrew has just signed the ketubah document, the official marriage document, and at this time, he's not married yet. Still a few minutes. Even though the document has been signed, there are several things that need to take place in order for it to be a legal Jewish marriage. And one of the first things is, although you all might have thought he was legally engaged or was engaged, but the thing that in Judaism officially makes a bride and groom engaged is about to take place. And that is, we're going to go to the Badekin, where Andrew will actually veil Jessie and set Jessie aside as his bride, his future wife, and Jessie allowing him to, so to speak, set her aside from the rest of the world. And to the tunes and sounds of some music, I'd like to ask everybody to please join us as we escort Andrew to Jessie for the veiling ceremony, and from there we'll go on to the chuppah, to the actual wedding ceremony.
The right lady.
Okay. Jessie, I just want to give you the same blessing that our matriarch Rebecca got as we spoke. The whole veiling ceremony goes back to our matriarch Rebecca, in the same way that she was tremendously blessed in her life. So too, you and Andrew should be blessed in your lives, and all the wonderful things that she brought to the marriage, we know you're going to bring, and the Almighty should give you the strength that He gave her to become a matriarch of the Jewish people and of humanity. In the same way that she was, you're going to offer the world tremendous and special things. And therefore I say, Achosenu atila alfei rebaba, Yisimech Elohim kisar rivka rachel v'leah, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai Pana Velecha V'Yasem L'cha Shalom. May you only know goodness, health, happiness, and the tremendous things that Rivka Rebecca had, you should have too. This time I'd like to ask the parents of the bride to come forward and bless their daughter before the chuppah.
The English version?
Yeah, start from God.
May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May the Almighty bless you and safeguard you. May the Almighty illuminate God's countenance for you,
To be gracious to you.
May the Almighty turn God's countenance to you and establish peace for you.
Keep it going. Jessica, Ithaca, Rachel, may it be the will of the Almighty that is instilled in your hearts God's love and reverence. May the fear of the Almighty be upon your face all of your days, in order that you not sin. May your craving be for the proper and meaningful things in life. May your eyes gaze toward truth. May your mouth speak wisdom. May your heart mediate with awe. May your hands engage in acts of goodness. May your feet run to do kindness. May the Almighty grant you righteous sons and daughters who engage in proper, moral, and ethical ways. May the source of your prosperity be blessed. May the Almighty arrange your livelihood for you in a permissible way, with contentment and relief from beneath the Almighty's generous hand, not through the gifts of flesh and blood, a livelihood that will free you to do good things, and may you be inscribed and sealed for a good long life among all the righteous of Israel. Amen.
Okay. Jessica.
May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. May the Almighty bless you and safeguard you. May the Almighty illuminate God's countenance for you and make gracious to you. May the Almighty turn God's countenance to you and establish peace for you. Jessica, Ithaca, Rachel. May it be the will of the Almighty that is instilled in your heart God's love and reverence. May the fear of the Almighty be upon your face all your days, in order that you may not sin. May your craving be for the proper and meaningful things in life. May your eyes gaze towards truth. May your mouth speak wisdom. May your heart meditate with awe. May your hands engage in acts of goodness. May your feet run to do kindness. May the Almighty grant you righteous sons and daughters who engage in proper moral and ethical ways. May the source of your prosperity be blessed. May the Almighty arrange your livelihood for you in a sensible way, with commitment and with relief from beneath the Almighty's generous hand, and not through the gifts of flesh and blood. A livelihood that will free you to be king, and may be inscribed and sealed good, long life among all the righteous of Israel.
Amen. The last but not least, although she didn't know this and she's not prepared, we're going to ask your grandmother to give you a special blessing before you go to the chuppah.
Darling, I can give you only blessings from your great-grandmother in the old town of Russia. And the blessings come from great-great-grandma to grandma to grandma to grandma. And I'm here all the way with all the blessings of the future and bring you all the great future generations that are part of this new world that we hope is going to be part of it.
Make their way back to the chuppah room for the actual wedding ceremony. My name is Rabbi Yeshua Sauer, and I've been asked by the groom and the bride and their family to preside over today's wedding ceremony and to officially oversee the union this afternoon. And really, it's my honor to officially welcome everybody here, the friends of the bride, the friends of the groom, family, on the groom's side, the bride's side, or any of you that are here simply because it's, let's be honest, it's not the nicest day out. It's humid, it's hot, it's been raining all day, and I know there was a movie released this weekend called Wedding Crashers. If you're here just for that, welcome, welcome. Instead of speaking or giving a lengthy little talk to the bride and the groom under the chuppah this afternoon, they've asked me to do something a little bit different, and that is, many of us have been to many weddings. Some of us have even participated as the bride and groom in a wedding ceremony. But oftentimes, there are many things that go on that we're not so familiar with. And they felt that it would be a shame for they themselves to go through this process without really understanding what the ceremony is all about. And as a result, Andrew and Jessie have spent a lot of time with me over the last 2 months to fully understand what's going on here this afternoon. Spent some time with another lady, a wonderful lady by the name of Rebbetzin Cohn, to understand it as well. So therefore, as we go through the ceremony, I'm going to take a few moments before something happens to just briefly explain it to you. And I want to begin with this structure here called the chuppah. Some of you have seen a chuppah before, some of you perhaps might not have. But I want you to understand that every single thing that's going to take place in this ceremony is deeply, deeply rooted in tradition, has extreme significance, whether it be spiritually or whether it be legally according to Jewish law. And everything that we do and that will be a part of this ceremony goes back literally thousands of years. There's no part of the ceremony this afternoon that we just came up with yesterday. And it starts with this chuppah, this structure called the chuppah. And I want you to know that legally this is a kosher Jewish chuppah. Why do I say that? A teepee or a triangle or a circle might not be valid in Jewish law as a chuppah. Our sages have taught us that we specifically want a chuppah, a structure that has a canopy on top, but that is square and open on all 4 sides. What is the reason for this? And here we begin with our thousands of years old tradition. Andrew and Jessie are about to start a new life together. And they're building what we call an olam katan, a small world together. And they need to take and understand that there are certain things that we expect of them. This shouldn't be taken lightly. And the first lesson that they're going to learn is they walk down to this structure. This structure reminds us of an earlier structure, that of our matriarch and patriarch, Abraham and Sarah. For many people, would attribute or think that the greatest thing that Abraham and Sarah gave to us in the world was the idea of monotheism. But in Jewish thought, we say no, there's something that was far more important that they gave to us, and that they gave humanity. And that is the idea that chesed, goodness and kindness, is of utmost importance. And Abraham and Sarah were legendary in the fact that they had a house that was different than everybody else's. What was that? Their tent, their house, had a door on all 4 sides that was open 24/7. Anybody could come. They had an ear that would listen. There would always be a pot of something waiting for them if they were hungry, to share good times. And unfortunately, if somebody needed to cry on somebody's shoulder, Abraham and Sarah were there as well. They epitomized and showed the world what chesed, goodness and kindness, was all about. And so too, we tell Andrew and Jessie today that as they commit to each other under this structure, It should be the same type of commitment. And what it's going to take for this marriage to last and become legendary in the way that we know they can make it, goodness and kindness is going to have to be the foundation. The same way that their matriarch, Sarah, and their patriarch, Abraham, made it in their lives.
Shoshan Chofi Avas Avas Kavam Nisosodi Miban Siya Shoshan Chofi Avas Avas Kavam Nisosodi Hu Yivareches Hechasam V'yes Hakala Hu Yivareches Hechasam V'yes Hakala. Alako mi baruch alako mi gadol alako mi gadol alako hu yivarech
This time. Is the mic on? This time, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Jessie's grandmother, Julia Golden. Andrew's grandfather, unfortunately, can't be with us today. He's unfortunately sick in South Africa, Mr. Simon Howard. In Jewish Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, we're taught about various different levels of spirituality in our soul, our body, and the greatest catalyst of all time. When I talk about mysticism throughout the ceremony, I'm not talking about Madonna mysticism. I'm not talking about Roseanne mysticism. But the great Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, who wrote the Zohar, taught us that there's a time more so than any other that souls rejoin us here in this world and are present. And that time is a time of a relative's wedding. And therefore, I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge grandparents that are with us, perhaps not physically, but definitely spiritually. It's Sal Golden, Rhea Vesper, Joseph Vesper, Sonia Heller, Yetta Shell, Maura Shell, and two very special people to Jessie. The spirits here are with us today. Jessie had a great grandmother that she loved very much, Trudy Levine, and a great uncle who recently passed on, Ronnie Levine. We welcome those neshamas, those souls with us under the chuppah this afternoon. We begin with the betrothal blessings, two blessings. One, as always, celebrate events over a cup of wine. So the first blessing will be a Bowie Priyagofen over the wine itself. And the second is thanking the Almighty for the institution of marriage itself. I'll have the two of you in mind in my blessing over the wine, after which I'll ask Andrew's father to assist Andrew in taking a sip of the wine. Jessie's mother, Jessie, partaking in the wine as well. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei Priyagofen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidishanu b'mitzvoso v'tzivonu al ha'arayos Osanu es ha'arusos v'tyolanu es ha'nesuos lanu al yidei chuppah v'kiddushin Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh Amo Yisrael Al Yidei Chuppah B'Kiddushin. This time, I'd like to ask Ben to come forward. The verse in Deuteronomy teaches us that by the power of two witnesses, something becomes established. Therefore, Ben will join me in serving as the official witnesses to this marriage, as we're going to ask Andrew to ask Jessie to officially marry him and accept his proposal of marriage. The way this will take place is he'll officially ask both in Hebrew and in English. Jessie, if you're ready to go through with it, you'll extend your right index finger. As we've discussed, Andrew, you use your right hand because right in Judaism is a symbol of love. Jessie, you use your right hand because it's a symbol of love. And you accept with your right index finger because the index finger is the most active finger. And the ring, which symbolizes the all-encompassing love that Andrew has for you and will continue throughout your life to shower on you. It's as if he envelops you all around through that ring, covering at least part of your finger with it entirely, totally surrounded. As we've also discussed, another idea of why we use the right index finger is the index finger is the finger that has the most direct line to the heart. Blood flows from that finger to the heart faster than any other finger. So I ask Mr. Adam Sager, please come forward with the ring. Andrew, is this your ring? Does it belong to you?
Yes.
Let me ask you something, Ben. What's about to take place here has tremendous significance legally in Jewish law, and there must be value to this ring. Do you think it looks to you like there is value to this ring?
I believe so.
You believe so? And are you sure it's here? Look it over again. It's not on some credit card. It's not on layaway somewhere. It's not loan.
Bought and paid for.
Bought and paid for. Okay. Excellent. In that case, I ask you to take it in your right hand, your right index finger. Whoa, 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 whoa. Repeat after me. Hareat
Hareat
Mikudeshet Li
Kudeshet Li
B'Taba'as Zu
Taba'asu
Kedas
Kedas
Moshe
Moshe
Israel.
Israel.
Behold,
Behold,
be consecrated to me
be consecrated to me
through this ring,
through this ring,
according to the laws of Moses in Israel.
according to the laws of Moses and Israel.
Okay. Watch very carefully. Mikudeshes.
Mikudeshes.
Thank you. Awesome. At this time, we'll read the official marriage document, the official marriage contract that was signed before. Many of you were present when Solomon was signed. I want to explain that this is not a document that talks about society. There's no mention of God. There's no mention of society. It simply is the financial and various other obligations that Andrew has to Jessie in this marriage. I'm going to read it, after which you'll give it to Jessie, please. בערב בשבת בעשור יום לחודש חמוש שנת 5,765 במניין שלנו מולן כאן ניו יורק אקשה הבוחר אהרון בן דוד אמר להד בסופה איתקה רוחל בס אליית haben wir uns mit das Maschine so war nach Leute gewesen da fand ich sicher die Hilfs geworden wir dann gefolgt Leute besonders Franzen die Schein kuschel die haben die Krieg mehr zu weichen Kessel ist die Massen der Khasi die Krieg der Reisen sind Israel wie Society wie sie zu kaufen alle was ich da auch Arab zu jetzt mal ras it rock so Havas Leila into the Don, the Dunia, and Havas Lemi Beavu, Ben Kasab, Ben Zop, Ben Tachit, and Money, the Worship Shimusha, the Non Gomez, Cooking Kasab Sorrow, but Svi Aharon Hosan, the Nabnes, Cooking Kasab Sorrow, but Svi Aharon Hosan, the Nabnes, die Leute, Oibens, guten Kessel, zur Verfehlung, in Sacha, Kommas, guten Kessel, zur Kachel, Maharan, Kosan, Dinyan, Achrai, stark, Sutta, dort in Dringam, der Seven, dort Kabolsalai, Ayashnik, das Roy, die Sporea, mit Kolschmeierei, Nixon, die Kanin, und die Isla, Kolschmeier, die Kanin, die Isla, Anna, die Midna, nicht sind. Die Isla in Achais, und das Lamin Achais. Kulan Johann Achroin, Barwon, the Friend, and Heinstock, Supta, the Drink on the Tesafta, Domino, Bafilo, Minkulima, the Alcasser, the Kayavasa, Kaye, Minyama, the Nan, Ula Oidon. Achrais, the Heinstock, Supta, the Drink on the Tesafta, Kibas, Alova, Haran, Sandinan, Hemko Stark, Supas, Tesafas, then Hagen relates all, Asin, Kitikun, Kachmin, as a friend of Rocket, Lucas, Mahmoud, Lucky. Tose de Star Kanina, in a Haram and David Hassan, the Nan Mars, Itker Rochelbas, Elliot, Besulta, Alcoma, the cousin of the first album, one of the Fashal, the Nickname Bay, Hakol Shar, the Kayam, the Yoshua, the Moshe Aid, Naftali, Ben Yamin, Ben Yoshua Aid, signed by Yoshua, the Moshe.